All right, awesome. So I appreciate your time. Were you able to look over the questions at all?
Yeah, I glanced over them. I'm better off the top of my head, though.
That works too. Some people are one way or the other. So I'll rattle them off, say what you want to say. If it's something you don't do, then cool as well. I'm just trying. I don't know if your dad filled you in kind of like what I've been doing, and I've just been trying to really, especially with COVID, help as many young student athletes as possible. Just try to deal with what's going on. But ultimately, you want to get back to normal and start working with a lot of athletes and how to handle pressure situations and everything that comes their way. So I'm always curious when people like yourself that really, obviously you had good mentors with coaches, but also with your parents, but what process you use as far as mental performance and things like that. So question one, what do you contribute to your high level of performance?
I would say my competitive nature. It was definitely something, like you said, I had good parents. I had great parents growing up that would put me in these competitive situations, whether it was playing board games, playing one-on-one basketball with my brother. Like, they just taught me that if you compete, work hard, you're going to be successful in life. So that was a big thing. It's just, honestly, like, whenever you're down, you're not out yet, though. It's just competing no matter what happens.
So resiliency is a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I know I had this as question 10, but do you feel like that was the biggest thing you learned from your parents? Obviously your dad being a long-time successful college coach and your mom being a long-time high school coach. What are some of the things you picked up from them, and was resiliency the big thing?
Yeah, that competitive nature was definitely probably one of the biggest things, and working hard was definitely another one. I've seen both them in their work ethics. I grew up around them, and they worked hard in their jobs, and I knew they worked hard in college for their respective sports. And another big thing I picked up from them was, you control your life. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do anything. So that was a big thing for me, was getting to that mindset that if I set my mind to this, that's what I'm going to go do. And no matter what people tell me, I'm going to do it, because that's what I set my goal to.
So they taught you that growth mindset right from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge difference. It's amazing. Athletes that haven't been taught that yet, it's like a light bulb goes on when they start figuring that out, and realizing that they can work towards their dreams and their visions and stuff like that with just a little bit of shift of that mindset makes a huge difference. So
yeah, well,
awesome.
When I was younger, like, I told them I want to play professional baseball one day. And they kind of they laid it out for me. They're like, all right, you're going to have to do a lot of things differently than most kids. You're going to have to take some weekends, and you're going to need to work. You're going to have to go a different route, make better decisions. And, they laid it out for me, gave me every opportunity to chase it. And, I took every one of those opportunities, and here I am now.
Yeah. Yeah. That could have went two ways. That could have went, they could have said, yeah, well, not giving you advice on what to do. Or if you told your coaches that, some of the coaches tend to be like, that's a pipe dream kind of thing. Right. So it's good that you got that guidance early on, and whether they thought you had the potential or not, they believed in you and what you had as a vision, and they helped you as much as they possibly can, but ultimately it comes down to accountability for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So as far as the mental performance part of the game, do you feel how much, what percentage of baseball do you feel is mental?
The whole game.
Yeah.
I'd say about like 10% of it's physical ability. You can work hard on your physical ability, but baseball is such a mind game that's honestly the part of the game I love. Like, you're put into this game to fail. And when I learned to accept that at a young age, I was like, the higher levels I go to, the more I'm going to fail. When I learned that failure is a good thing, that's when I really started to take off in my baseball career. So, mentally getting over that hurdle was huge for me once I got to college. And I'd say baseball is the biggest mental game out there. And you just got to work through it and understand that it is a game of failure.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of downtime, and I'd say
it's just like the mental part of it is just like knowing the little parts of the game. Like a good example is like Jeter knowing that long throw from the outfield wasn't going to make it to the plate. In order to get the guy out of the plate, he went and cut it off and relayed it to him. just like
Yeah.
knowing those plays like in your head, like kind of running through scenarios, making sure you know where you have to be at any given point in the game. So like it's just
Yeah.
like just thinking through those big situations that you got to be in. So then when it does happen, you can just slow yourself down and make the play.
Awesome. On a more of my own personal question, we all know your dad's a hack golfer. What's more of a mind game, golf or baseball?
You know, they both are. I,
Yeah.
I honestly, that's probably why I love them the most. Like golf, you can hit a perfect shot and it could go in the bunker.
Yeah.
Like golf is like a very consistent game, just like baseball is. And you know, I think that's why I love like golf's a really fun hobby for me to play in the off season, and I love playing baseball. Those are two sports that just fascinate me, and they're
Yeah.
really intriguing.
Awesome.
I actually beat my dad before I left to come out here, so I'm pretty fired up.
Nice. Was he aware of that? Or was he trying to do a few foot wedges, or was he trying to try to move the score up on that?
We were tied going into the 9th, and he was aware of it. So
that's awesome. All right, next question. Do you visualize or meditate at all?
you know, I don't meditate much, but I do visualize a little bit. Like honestly, I can call it dreaming. Like I've always like daydream about like these moments that I want to be in. Like I wanted to play Division I college baseball in high school. You know, I dream of those moments. Like what would I do in these situations? You know, like I got a big at bat in a big game. What am I going to do? And then you know, I've always daydreamed about, you know, playing in a big league stadium in a World Series game. So, you know, I just kind of like keep my head there, and you know, I dream a little bit about it, try to visualize what I want for myself, and you know, that kind of keeps me focused on what the real goal is in life, even when I'm struggling or when I'm doing really well. It's just continue chugging forward and making sure you're chasing that end goal, which is the dream of mine that I have.
Yeah. Did anybody teach you how to visualize, or did you just kind of just do your own thing a little bit?
You know, it was just me. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't like school that much. I worked hard at it. I got decent grades, but you know, I was always thinking about something else. I was always visualizing myself on a baseball field, and
Yeah.
you know, that's why I'm going to be able to do it for a job for hopefully a very long time now.
Yeah. And you did what you still need to do, though, right? You knew that, you know, you had to get the grades to be able to pursue that vision and that goal, right? So you still, even though you weren't putting your mind into it, you still did the job to it.
Yep.
So that was part of the task. You knew you had to do this to get to that.
Yes.
It's funny. So I sent you that video from the big man's camp down in Texas I spoke at, right? So that was all high school kids, and some pros were there. And I did a camp today. I talked to a group of 7-year-olds today. And the exact same message I said to both of them is what I opened up with is exactly what you said. I basically tell every athlete that I work with that your job is to dream, right? And then if you're dreaming, then it's exactly what you just built off of. You're visualizing things, you set your sights on what you're trying to accomplish, and then you start to find the ways to get there. And that's the cool thing about the brain. If you set your sights on it, it's gonna find a way for you to get there, doing all of those processes. So
Yeah, like the biggest thing is dreaming. Like I was told I was never going to play professional baseball by many people. And, you know, the thing for me was I dreamed of it, and, you know, I worked hard for it. And, you know, if I didn't get there, I still got all those traits of working hard, being competitive, and, you know, learning how to dream. So whatever I was going to do when my career's done, I would have been prepared for it. So like
yeah,
dream, like I'd say dreaming is one of the biggest things in chasing goals that you have for yourself.
yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. On to some more routines and stuff. Do you have a pre-game routine that you go through?
So it kind of varies on like the beginning of each season. So like I'll learn new drills, I'll learn new things throughout the year, but you know, I normally like being the first one at the field every day. That's like a big thing for me. I want to get there. I want to get locked in. You know, I listen to some music, but big thing for me is just going through my pregame hitting routine every single time.
Yeah.
And I'll do the same thing every single day as much as I can, unless we have a 10 a.m. start time where it's just show and go and you can't get your work in.
Yeah.
But I normally go through tee work, flips, get my drill work in, and then, I relax for a couple minutes and go through the pregame routine with the team. So
Nice.
biggest thing for me is I like being the first one there.
Yeah.
Big thing for me is to be the first one in that locker room. And when I'm not, I'm pretty pissed at myself.
Creature of habit, and you want to beat everybody else. So, can you walk me through what your pre-bat routine is?
At bat in game or pre-game?
In the game.
In the game.
Yeah.
Normally it starts when I'm in the hole. So when I'm 2 batters away, I'm normally standing up with my hitting coach, talking about some tendencies. I don't normally look at scouting reports too much. I just ask him what's his velocities, where does he make his mistakes too. So like a mistake would be like if he's gonna try to go in with his fastball, does he miss middle? Does he run it outside the zone? So I just ask for little things that honestly I look for. And then when I'm on deck, I'm trying to time up the pitcher, just like take 2 or 3 to time him up, and then I just kind of relax the rest of the time after that. If it goes 2 or 3 pitches, I just stand there. I'm like, just taking a deep breath, just getting locked in. Because when I go up to the plate, I shouldn't be thinking too much. I should just be seeing and reacting. So that's like a big thing for me is just trying to be as cool and relaxed as I can be. So I'll time up 2 or 3 pitches, and then if it goes past that, I'll just hang out, watch the pitcher, watch the at bat, and just relax.
Sure. Do you so you're at bat, do you have a specific routine that you go through after a strike, and then a specific routine you do after a ball?
No, I just tap every time I step out, look at the coach, and then I tap 4 corners of the plate, point my bat, bring it around and put it on my shoulder, and then I'm ready to go. So I always tap the 4 corners of the plate so I know, feel it with my arm, I can feel it, and then I get locked in on the pitcher.
Cool. And do you breathe?
I breathe every time. I even try to breathe in the at bat, try to take a deep breath before I hit. Because being relaxed is a big thing for me. When I'm breathing heavy, when I'm all over the place, I can't focus on what I have to do.
Yeah.
It's taking a deep breath, kind of relaxing myself, just reminding myself, hey, you're a little kid playing baseball. Just kind of relaxing myself, setting myself at ease, just makes me perform my best.
Yep. One of the things I've been teaching younger baseball players is very similar to that, but also there's a separation between a ball and a strike. And so if it's a ball, then you're in a pretty good situation, right? You're still in the zone. So you're still looking at your coach, taking in what signs he wants, and then you're doing the 4 corner tap, taking a breath, things like that. If it's a strike, I've been having players take a look at the coach, get the call, and then I want them to take a deep breath on a fixed point, which has usually been first base.
Okay.
And then going from there, and then saying a reset word to themselves. So basically, whatever they feel puts them back into a powerful state. So if they go down 0-2, right, it's a different mindset than being up 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still trying to follow through on that not thinking concept. But for people that maybe aren't as strong as you mentally, this is where the younger kids start to struggle a little bit because they start to overthink. And so trying to get them into that situation where it's just, you do this, you do that. And that's all you need to think about.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing you can just say for them is thinking's bad. Just say that. Just because that's a big thing for me. When I'm up there and I think, I know I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm up there, I'm not even thinking. I'm just seeing the pitch and hitting it. That's when I'm at my best.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sometimes I'll cue myself and say, stop thinking. I'll literally say that to myself in the at-bat. I'm like, stop thinking, just hit. That's a big thing that will just kind of settle me down, like that code word you said.
Yeah. Self-awareness. It's a huge thing. As soon as you can get a hold of that.
I know exactly when I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking, I'm like, I can't hit right now. I got to reset.
Yeah, it's amazing how bad you get after you start thinking.
Yeah.
How about out in the field, before your pitcher gets ready for his routine to go into the pitch? What are you doing? Are you doing any kind of routine or?
No, I'm just honestly just staying in a position where I can react to a ball. But before every at bat, sometimes throughout the at bat, the situation changes. I always look around the field, figure out every scenario that might happen, figure out run around second base, nobody out. Oh, they might try to bunt here, so I gotta make sure I get over to first. Just reminding myself of these little situations and
Yep.
making sure I know where I might have to be. Obviously, there could be 3 or 4 different plays, but I'm just reminding myself, hey, if I have to really be here, I have to focus on this because this is probably what they're going to do, but I also got to be ready for this.
Yeah.
So thinking about the game within the game.
Do you take a breath? I mean, obviously you do, but do you notice when you take a breath before the pitch by your pitcher?
I probably take it once the sign's given and he nods, he goes into a stretch, I go,
Okay.
then I'm like ready to field. Just deep
Yeah.
breath out.
And on my own personal note, as an infielder, do you take a hop step when the pitch is about to be delivered?
I might. I honestly don't know. I probably do, but I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even take note of that. I just kind of get in a position where I feel like I can react either direction.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, I'm not. I don't really take much note of my game. I probably should start doing that more, but I do. I do monitor. Like we talked about breathing my freshman year. Like someone was talking to me about it, and I really liked it. So I just focus on trying to breathe a little bit more here and there.
Yeah. Awesome. How about after a mistake? Do you have any rituals that you do? Anything that you're mindful of?
Move on. Right away, I tell myself, hey, it happened. Make the next play. I struck out. Okay, next at bat. Let's go. Let's get ready to go for it. Make an error. Tell the pitcher, hey, I got you. That's on me. Reset. Go. So like it's almost like instant to me. Now, if it happens at the end of the game, I might think about it a little bit at night, but that's just what any normal competitive athlete would do.
Yeah.
But everything's pretty much instant for me. I know mistakes are going to happen. It's just owning them, learning from them, moving on from them, literally within like a 10-second span. Okay, this happened. Okay, let's move on. I learned from it. Let's not let that happen again.
Awesome. Do you remember, this is again my own personal, do you remember a time where you made a couple mistakes in a row and what you were feeling or what your thought process was there?
Yeah, my mentality of this actually started my freshman fall when I dropped 2 infield pop-ups in the same inning against Quinnipiac in a fall scrimmage. And, after the second one, I grabbed the ball and almost threw it away back at the pitcher. And, coach ripped me a new one when I got in the dugout. And that's when we started going into talking about how to deal with mistakes. And that was the biggest growth I ever made, was just moving on, owning up to it, knowing it's going to happen, and then moving on from it.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, a lot of like mistake ritual that I will teach to a lot of kids. Same thing, right? It's generally making it some kind of physical action, whether it's wiping away something or pounding their glove, but then they're taking a breath and then they're saying next play or next move or whatever. And it's amazing at how many athletes don't do that and are wondering why they're struggling.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing for me would be just to have them stay even keeled. Say like, hey, like literally just own up for it. Say, hey, my mistake. Deep breath, go. Like not even because I've learned not to show any emotion after any mistakes at this point. Like I just kind of say, hey, I was on me. Let's move on. Let's go. So like I just try to stay locked in and even keeled as much as I can now.
Yeah.
I don't want to give.
I feel like that. Exactly. You're giving them energy when you're showing emotion one way or the other. I feel like that's a parent thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's a little animated on the sideline, but we won't get into that. I think I got my mom's genes at times.
Yeah. I've got a pretty good impression of your dad on the sidelines. If you want to see it someday, let me know. He's got the hands on the hips and hands in the air and stuff like that. So I think I still can do a pretty good rendition.
More than once.
And I got for my last question. Oh, actually, no, 2 more questions. Do you have a post-game routine? So after a game's over, win or lose, is there anything that you do?
Yeah, I relax. I don't talk much about the game. I'll talk to my parents, talk to like family for a little bit, but then, I kind of just get away from baseball. I'll go throw on like a basketball game, a movie, just hang out, eat some food, hang out with my friends. And, I'll honestly try to reset completely between like, say we play Friday night, I'll try to reset completely by Friday night at midnight when I go to bed.
Yeah.
It'll be like one of those things I just turn it over.
So is it a thing where you're just trying not to think about anything that went on?
Yeah, like, even like really good things that you do want to talk about, you try not to. Because why would you talk about all the good you did and you won't say anything when you did something really bad. Like I try to stay as even as I can throughout the entire process, throughout the entire season. Because if you get too up, too down, your mood's going to be terrible. So I just kind of try to reset every night after the game.
So when you reset that after that game, you go to bed next morning, are you planning out what your day is going to be?
I'm waking up and, you know, I'm getting my breakfast. I'm going to be the first one at the facility. And, you know, I can't do that when we're on the road, but when we're at home, I'll be the first one at the facility. I'll go through my routine, see the trainer, you know, get a little treatment, and then I'll be ready to go. It's a new day.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about baseball is, you know, there's so much failure, so many mistakes that you can just wake up the next day and do it again, and you can be successful. Or you can fail again, and you just wake up the day after that, and you get a chance to be successful again.
Yeah.
Such
Absolutely.
Game.
It is crazy, you know, and you know, you've heard all the time, right? You hit 300 and you're successful.
You hit 300, you're Hall of Fame, so.
Right. It's pretty crazy. Last question for me. Give me something that a coach, whether at whatever level, college, high school, you know, young ball, what's really stuck with you, what they said to you?
You know, throughout like my mom and dad to my college coaches to my high school coaches, like something that stuck with me is, you know, you can control what you do on the like you can control what you do outside of the field. You can control how hard you work. You can control how tough you are. You can control all these little things. You can't control some of the things that happen in the game, though. So when I learned how to control the controllables and, you know, deal with the uncontrollables, that's when I really started to excel as an athlete. And like the last thing they really taught me was, you're this great athlete, but we got to teach you to be the best person you can be too. So kind of those two things is like finding, like controlling the controllables in my free time, like working hard, lifting, eating right, getting the right sleep, like doing all that stuff. I could control. I couldn't control if a pitcher was going to throw me anything good to hit, or if the ball was going to take a bad hop on dirt. So like dealing with that, and then my coach really taught me how to just, you know, interact with the community, be a good person on campus. And, you know, that's something I really take pride in, is not only being a good baseball player, but being a good person.
Awesome. Yeah, your parents did good. So I'm super excited for you. I'm really happy for you. And obviously your parents, known them for a long time, and I know the work they put in to give you guys what you guys need. So I'm happy for them as well.
You know, I'm happy to get them down here too in 2 days. So I just got to get through. I might go sit by the pool for a little bit right now, enjoy this Florida heat.
Yeah, there you go. What's it about 99 with 99 humidity right now?
It's 90 degrees right now. It's not terrible. No, I'm excited. I might go check out Miami a little bit just to get out of the room. I hate sitting.
Awesome. Yeah,
But,
I hear you.
hey, thank you for taking your time with me today. I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Best of luck. Enjoy the trip down there. And if you need anything, obviously you and your dad know where I'm at.
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Cody.